Hey again. So this video I wanted to do just to give you my previous experience, right? Because whole point of this blog or video blog, what do you call them? Vlogs, whatever it is, on YouTube, is that you kind of get an idea of my experience. So I wanted to, really at the start of doing all of this, I wanted to put forward an explanation of what I had done on boats before doing my day skipper. Because it's really got to be, from the zero onwards bit, zero to hero. Okay, I'm not saying I'm a hero yet, but I've moved a bit away from the zero. But what happened was I hadn't definitively worked out what sailing I'd done until I'd passed my until it came to filling out the logbook, which I've got here now for my sailing experience so far. So I'll just quickly go through that to explain it. So I first went out in July 2012, and we were in St. Peter's Port, which is Guernsey, I believe. And that was my first time. It says I was on board for 2 days. So we just went out for a weekend. I'm not with my friend Erin, so this is us on the boat here. I've always sailed on this boat. This is the boat I did my day skipper on. It's my good friend Tom's dad's, Andy. Very grateful for all these experiences because it's a lovely boat and they're lovely people. So we just went out to try it out. Both myself and Erin, is our first time out there. That's us having a bit of fun there. Tom was actually out in the dinghy and took the photo there. We apparently did 46 miles, but that was very much a passenger from memory. Obviously I had a great experience. Then it looks like we went out again July 2013, and we were in Pornic, so Brittany in France. 3 nights there, and we did 87 miles. Yeah, okay, so that was my second trip. So we did a bit more sailing there. Looks like it was a bit of a bigger one. The sort of things I'm doing on here are, first of all, I was interested, yeah. So I will have been doing some winching and stuff because it will have been, I'm just interested in that. I'll be taking fenders in and putting fenders out, that kind of stuff. Probably not a lot else going on. And I would have taken the helm because, being a bloke, I can't resist but have a go at being at the helm, which also suited me really well because apart from it looking freaking cool, I do get a bit seasick sometimes, and the things I was kind of learning in those early days are, if I'm at the helm looking at the horizon, that sorts out, I can breathe, and because I'm focusing on something, it's good. I also take Studer on as well these days. I don't actually know, after a couple of days, I don't think I'd need them, but certainly for the first day, I don't mind taking them either. They make me a bit drowsy, and I quite like it. But anyway, I'm basically just looking after ropes and stuff there. In May 2014, it looks like things got a little bit more interesting. Was that 2014? That's 3 years ago. But yeah, we were 3 days there, but that was from Portland over to Nayland. So Portland, south of England, to Wales, basically. And we went via the Scilly Isles. Now that was an interesting one because that was a delivery trip. And that's where I really, really felt like, things were taking shape, because we did, it says here, 298 miles. So 300 miles, and we did that in 3 days. We basically sailed, what is that? That's 100 miles a day, isn't it? So, we were sailing through the night, so day and night. I think we left Portland in the afternoon, straight through the night, straight through the next day until we got to the Scilly Isles. We did moor up somewhere, moor up. We took a mooring in an anchorage. I think, and then we continued on into Wales, and that was mental because obviously night sailing, that was a new experience for me. You can't see anything out there, having to do things in shift work. It was the first time we really used auto helm actually, and and I had the experience of we're just going here and there. There's no messing about. We were just going for it. So yeah, auto helm was taking us most of the way there. I think we had good wind for most of it, and and we got there fine, and that was a great experience. I remember coming into, let me get this right, Nayland, and it was freezing, man. And Tom was at the helm. We were downwind. So yeah, we had I don't know if we had a beam reach on. We were pretty much could have been on a dead run for all I know. We were not far off anyway. But anyway, because of that, and it was I think we were coming in about 4 in the morning into this big harbour. I had my kind of head down under the in the cockpit there, so there was no danger there. And it was freezing. We had full on gear on. And I had my jeans on, I had my tracksuit bottoms on, I even had some like underlayer legging things. Leggings, is that even a thing a blokes wear? You know what I mean? Long johns? That doesn't sound much better, does it? But anyway, it was cold. And we were coming in and there was LPG tankers. There was an LPG tanker turning round. And if you're ever, even though this is a 43 foot, there's plenty of smaller yachts. Jesus, man. Those things are big. You don't want to get in the way of that. And in we went there. I don't know, I think we arrived at like 8 in the morning or something. And first time on that trip was the very first time I think I fully got my sea legs. It was strange for anyone that's not done this, which I assume you might not have if you're kind of learning this stuff, is, especially down in the cabin, everything feels, because you can't see the horizon. At first it feels very much, like you're flying all over the place, and it feels awkward and you feel sick. And then after a while, it was really weird, like 2.5 days, and bear in mind we were under sail for 2 days. It just felt totally normal down there, like I knew I was getting thrown around, and I knew we were wobbling, and I knew there were waves, but you were just, it's weird, your brain or your ears or whatever it is just compensate for it. Let me just check. That's still going. Yeah, just compensate for it automatically, and it's weird. So anyway, what I was going to say is that was when I got off at Nayland for the first time. You have this kind of land, I don't know what you call it, but it's almost like land sickness. So like the same feeling you get when you get on the boat, you're back on land and your brain's trying to compensate, so you're kind of swaying around. I mean, you probably had it a bit off the, if you've been on the ferry or whatever, or a boat for a few hours, you will get it, but yeah, it's a bit more intense when you've been on it for a while. But again, it's all good. It's nothing to worry about. It's, one of the things I've noticed about seasickness is a lot of the seasickness is the fact that you're scared of being seasick. And in fairness, seasickness is horrible. You don't want to get it because it is one of the worst feelings in the world. And obviously you're at sea. You can't stop the feeling, the rocking. But in the defence of it, I think it's that happening that makes you worry about seasickness. So you're kind of a bit like, oh, am I going to be seasick? Am I going to be seasick? So anyone that suffers from that or worries about that, I'd definitely get some Stugerons. They're available from Boots or whatever. Stugeron, Stugeron, I believe. And take 2 of those, just before you, I don't know, half an hour before you set sail, an hour before, or whatever it says on the pack, and you should be fine. So I'd recommend that. Anyway, so that was the Wales trip. That was the big one, big one for me. Then we had one in, let me get this right, Largs. Okay, Kip Marina, Largs. So now we're into 2015. So we did 80 miles there, another 3 nights on Injaz, the boat, which was great. That's over in Scotland, I believe. Scotland, yep. So yeah, in fact, now I remember it. That was the intention. So we took the boat round to. The reason we were taking it to Wales was so that the next season would be in Scotland. Andy Skipper wanted to go around Scotland. Obviously, there's lots of great sailing on the west coast there. So yeah, I had a few days out there, which was fantastic. And then the following year, did the similar thing, but over in Ireland. It's a little bit longer. No, same sort of thing. 90 odd miles in Ireland, 3 days, which was fantastic. Great fun. Different crew that time. Actually, one of the girls that came out on that trip was who I did the Day Skipper with, Laura. And then, and then 2016 I was out in Brittany and France for 4 days. And then the last entry in here is the one I've just done. So I'm saying 0. First time I went on the boat, on any sailing boat, was in 2012, and then every year I've gone out for a trip basically, and yeah, I've just kept building on that. I mean, the actual total number of days on board: 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 18, call it 22 days. But I mean, it was like 2 days and 3 days and 3 days and 3 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then 6 finally for the training course. So, I mean, my actual time aboard hasn't been a lot. I've been very fortunate that I've had a friend that will let me go out on it. Not everyone will have that. In fact, yeah, that's a blessing. I mean, not everyone has that. It's amazing. I just can't thank them enough for that, really. But yeah, I'm just kind of going a little bit further. And I'd honestly say that, you know, until I'd embarked on my skipper theory and practical, day skipper theory and practical, I didn't really know what was going on a lot. You know, I started to understand about the wind, understanding points of sail a little bit, but only a really little bit, you know, and obviously you understand tides and tidal drift, but, you know, when I mean understand them, I mean that they exist, you know, so you've got high tides and low tides. Of course, you know, most people will be able to work that out. But yeah, as far as actually calculating tides, understanding the effect of them, you know, looking at depths, yeah, this was all learnt on the course. So what I think I'm getting at is you don't need to have done all those extra miles which I've done. I mean, basically I did sort of 500, 600 miles, but they were all the same 500-600 miles. You know, once you've done maybe 200 of those, you know, I had the daytime stuff, say 100 daytime and then 100 nighttime. That, you know, that would be probably me learning most of it. But I mean, you always learn something, right? Every little bit you learn a bit more, and then you get a bit more confident, and then, you know, you learn a bit more about the dinghy, and then you learn how to fill up the water tanks. You learn how the sat nav, GPS works, how the radio works. You slowly start to build this stuff up. But it wasn't until, you know, I did the actual course that I really started to know what was going on. But anyway, I thought that might be interesting to just show you my, you know, kind of where I was before I did the Day Skipper. And yeah, that's it really. Yeah, let me know how you get on. How's your sailing? I love it. Oh, one thing for sailing for me, the thing I really like about it is the freedom. Is that when you go, just the theory of being able to go, I can go anywhere from now. Like, I could go anywhere in the world. I mean, okay, you don't want to go with the pirates, and okay, you probably don't want to go with me at the helm yet because, you know, you need a bit of experience. And also, you don't want to leave and do that when you've got work on Monday and it's a Friday, you know, or Saturday, because it's going to take you a while. But, you know, the theory is it's free and it's great. Liberating. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there. Have fun. Give it a like if it's any use. Sorry I've been blabbing for so long. It's probably heading on for 20 minutes of me talking rubbish. 13. Anyway, have fun. Live the dream. I'll catch you later.